Hello guys, this is Video Psych. And of course, as you've seen in the headline, thumbnail, name of this video, I would say that you're probably wondering where my love doll is at. Well, I decided that I didn't feel like picking up an 85 to 100-pound doll and setting her in a chair right here. That's the reason why she is not here right now. But just so you know, if you haven't kept up, I actually have three love dolls. I have a love doll from Teddy Babes. You know, that's my first love doll. I still have her. And I have a TPE doll from Real Love Sex Dolls. And you've seen her, if you've kept up enough, you have seen her in some of my videos. Some of them. And my most featured doll, which is my RealDoll, which I got late last year, she is a RealDoll too. And she was not cheap, to say the least. And, you know, some of you are probably clicking on this video because you're wondering if you should even buy a doll from this company in the first place. And I can understand that because they, like I said, they are not cheap. In fact, they are basically like buying a car or a cheap car because they start from 4,000 and you can go all the way up to over $50,000 with these dolls. Yes, you seriously can. Look it up. But anyway, so of course, if you are wondering about why I bought a doll, it might not be the same reason why you would buy a doll from this site, but I will tell you my reason why, and why some of the reasons why you might think about buying a doll from this site in the first place. Excuse me. Now, of course, this video is also not scripted, as usual. So, you know, I've got to kind of think of the reasons why I did it and the reasons why I would possibly even do it again. Because it's not like I just bought one. I didn't just see one of these dolls on RealDoll and think, oh, I'm going to buy from these guys, even though they're like $4,000+ per doll. No. I did find some other options, to say the least. To say the least. But with that being said, all right. So here we go. Excuse me. Can't believe I'm still coughing from being sick. Anyway. Oh, let me think of them here just for a moment. Well, I mean, one of the reasons I got a doll from RealDoll is because of the fact that, I mean, I don't know about what you guys think of these TPE dolls. These dolls are made out of thermoplastic elastomer, platinum, even a platinum-based thermoplastic elastomer. They're at least a couple $1,000s cheaper, but let me tell you one thing about them that I've actually always disliked, and that is just the fact that all of these dolls that they make out of this material, they always look like just children. I mean, just little girls. I mean, you could probably try to argue with me that these dolls are 18 plus, you know, that these dolls or aka girls from these doll sites are 18 and over. You know, just like some porno sites say that all their teens are 18 plus, even though they sometimes probably aren't. I mean, some of these dolls that they have on these sites that are made out of TPE, I mean, they just look like children. I hate to say it. I mean, pretty children nonetheless, but they just look so young. I mean, I would say even some of them look like they're under 10 years old, to be frank with you. And even the ones that I've seen that are said to be MILF versions of these dolls, even those dolls tend to not look much older than 18 to maybe 20 years old at best. And they're trying to put up these dolls out there like they're 30 plus or something, but no. These dolls just do not look that old to me when it comes to these types of dolls. I mean, they just look like a bunch of teens. If not younger sometimes. And that's one of the reasons why I got one of these dolls from RealDoll, is because if you've seen my yeah, if you've seen my RealDoll too, on my channel, I mean, you could easily say something like she looks like she's 25 to 30 years old. I wanted something with a full figure, a realistic looking full figure. And again, realistic. And that's another thing about a lot of these TPE dolls, is that their figures just do not look realistic. I mean, some of their hips and their waists, they just look like fucking twigs. And to me is just unattractive. I mean, some of them at least look a little more realistic and better than others as far as TPE dolls go. And that's a good thing. But yeah, they just sometimes they just look so unrealistic, figuratively speaking. They just look so unrealistic and young, like I said. And another reason why I specifically bought from RealDoll, I guess part of it is also because 8 years ago, or over 8 years ago now, when I was first discovering these love dolls, RealDoll was one of the first sites that I discovered. And, of course, when I first saw it, I fell in love with it. But, at the time, a RealDoll 2 back then costed like $8,000 to $9,000 at the time. Seriously, they had RealDoll 2s back then, and they also were still selling the RealDoll Classic dolls at the time too. And I was just like, wow, that is just so much money for a doll. So you can say that the dolls have gone a few $1,000s cheaper since then. At least. They've gone a few $1,000s cheaper since then, and that is a good thing, let me tell you. Because, yeah, these dolls were seriously overpriced. And they still kind of are. But, at least they've gone down a bit, to say the least. But also, with that being said, it's not like I just bought one. But, I guess you could kind of say I partly just did it because it is basically the Ferrari of the love doll community. And when you are looking for a car and you want your dream car, you want to have something like a Ferrari or a McLaren or a Mustang or something like that. And that to me, that's what these love dolls from RealDoll are. That is my Ferrari. And that in part is the reason why I got one in particular. And two, or at least another reason, is because these dolls are as well made as any other doll on the planet. You cannot find a more well-made doll than these dolls. And they are a legitimate company. I mean, they are. Which is another reason why I bought one from this site. And another reason, I think the biggest, of course, reason why I got a love doll from this site is because you cannot get more realistic, than these dolls. Out of every company there's only a few other companies that stack up in realism with this company. There are only a few other companies that stack up in comparison to realism. I mean, RealDoll, it really is up there. I mean, there is a reason why these dolls are so expensive. It is because these dolls are for one, they are handcrafted by hand. Yes, by hand. Which is why it takes so long for these to get made. And two, they look very realistic. I mean, you can't get any more realistic than RealDoll. You cannot. And three, it is top of the line craftsmanship. Now, what do you think that because there have been some people that have tried arguing with me about it, that they found all these other companies that are much cheaper than RealDoll. It's like, yes, they are cheaper, but they aren't really as good. I hate to say it, but they just aren't as good. I mean, I've kind of had the experience myself with other TPE dolls and other companies' dolls, and they just do not do it as well as RealDoll does. There's only a select few other doll manufacturers that do. And I'm dead serious when I say that. Which again is the reason why I bought my doll in particular from this site. Now, if you for some reason think that some of the other dolls from some of the other sites are better looking, I will let you have your opinion on that. But you can't argue with how realistic the experience is, because I would rather have sex with one of these dolls from RealDoll than a doll, let's say from one of those Chinese sites that sell the TPE dolls. And don't get me wrong, the TPE dolls that are made out of thermoplastic elastomer material are good and all, and I would get that if I couldn't afford the one from RealDoll. But if you really want to have a good love doll, if that is your interest, I would suggest you get one from RealDoll or another high-end doll maker like RealDoll. Because once you have the experience from a high-end doll versus one that's made out of thermoplastic elastomer or made of any other kind of material, you're not going to feel like going back. I mean, yes. I mean, I still think it's a bit overpriced, these dolls. In my opinion, they probably shouldn't be over $4,000. In fact, I mean, I would probably just want one for free, of course. But, that's just not how it is. And, sadly, that's just not how it is. Like, to even have, like, a thing, just even a thing of silicone without any craftsmanship on it, that's still going to cost you, like, $100 or two. Like, if it's just a thing of it like that, that's easily going to cost you like $100 or $200. That and the fact that they have got to make something on these dolls after spending so much money on them as is, they've got to make back on that money so that they can make more dolls, and two, so they can also experiment and in the future be able to make better love dolls. So you can have better AI. If you have a doll with AI on them. I will say this much about the AI of these love dolls. There is a reason why I decided not to get the AI. It's because one, I would have had to have paid another $1,000 just to have the AI put into it. And two, I just don't want my love doll to sound like a robot. Those are my two reasons why I didn't get the AI with my love doll. I just did not feel like doing it. Although I do think it is pretty neat. I think I just want something a little more advanced. You know, when it gets to that point, you know what I mean? But anyway, I will stop boring you guys about the reason why I got my love doll from RealDoll. And I will see you guys in the next video. By the way, also check out some of my other videos on the doll topic and other videos if you haven't seen any of them, because it seems like some people that watch my videos don't think I make other videos, because I do. With that being said, I'll see you guys later. Bye.